Hey ladies, how's it going? Happy Black Friday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I know it was really good here. I'm just kind of like gonna work out for the next 2 weeks to I love pumpkin pie. So I was like, yeah, give me some more. Um, anyway, I hope it was great for you. And if it wasn't, then come on, let's get back up and it's up to you to make it great. I know things might not be exactly how you want them to be, but it is in your hands, nobody else's, because when you give that power away, it's fleeting. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you about today. I've been talking to a lot of women. I work with a lot of women who at the beginning feel this way, and then I help them shift that. But a lot of women are really not dating or dating with hesitation because they're really truly, so they say that, it's because all men suck or there's not enough good ones out there. They all just want sex. They all never call back. They all ghost. They're all looking for younger women. They're all shitty. All of it. I hear it all and I get it, but I hear that. And what it truly is they're afraid of being rejected. They're tired of being rejected. They're tired of going out on a date, thinking it's going well, having a great conversation, taking a freaking shower, getting all ready, getting your hopes up, getting, juices flowing and feeling like, yeah, this is awesome. We totally clicked. And then crickets. Or the slow bleed where it's like the texts get kind of more distant and you're like, wow, he was super flirty before. And now he's like, kind of like talking to my grandma. What happened? We met. So clearly what happened is I screwed up. What did I do? And then it becomes this like, you shrivel up like, oh my God, was it what I said? Oh, did I offend him? I didn't look good enough, or I'm too old. He must be looking for someone younger. That maybe when I got up and walked away, looked at my ass, or all of those stories go through our head. Does it sound familiar? Because I know I hear it all the time. And so what it truly is you're afraid of rejection. Like, who wants to feel that way? Who wants to put themselves kind of like up there? Like, I always think of it sort of like not a pedestal, but like for sale, like you're something that somebody else is bidding on, putting value on, like in an auction. So if that's how you go into dates, thinking this man has his bidding, auction thing, whatever those are called. I've never been to an auction, but those little fun when they're like bidding at Christie's or whatever on fancy stuff. If that's the energy you're going into the date, like, woo-hoo, I have to entertain him and perform, like, be engaging and say everything he wants me to say just to get a second date or to keep this going, then you're putting all the power in his hands. And what you're really doing, ding, 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 you're rejecting yourself. So he's not just rejecting you. The truth is where the shit gets real and where the true problem is you're rejecting yourself. You're starting out by rejecting yourself because you're not being yourself. You're being who you think he wants you to be. Connecting the dots at all. This is exactly what I help women with. And it's so common. I don't want you to feel, I can tell it jazzes me up. I love helping women through this because there's a process we can help you with to stop doing that. And it's easier than it sounds, but it's so common. And it's like putting your happiness in somebody else's, putting your eggs in their basket and then expecting them to take care of them once you start stepping into who you are, seeing your value, knowing your value, believing in your value and owning your value and wearing it fucking round, then you're going to always let him determine your value. And that is not a winning strategy. And it's exhausting. And I'm sorry if this is something that's going on, if you're afraid to go out or you're afraid to even meet somebody because he will reject you, you won't be good enough, call me. Like, let's have a conversation. It is exhausting, I know, and it's hurtful and sad, and it's just giving away all of your goods. but it starts with your rejection of yourself. And I hope that makes sense. And I just want you to know it doesn't have to be that way. So if you, I don't know if this is really resonating with you. If it's resonating with you, I would love to have a conversation. I've met so many of you, I mean, working with a bunch of you and then talked to a bunch of you that weren't quite the right fit, which is great. I'm still helping you in other ways. I have so many resources that I can give you, and it's so worth your time because life is short. Holy shit, it's almost 2019, right? Is that crazy? I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like, oh, I've got so much to do. I love it though, because I know I'm on the right path. Like I know I'm in control of my future. I know exactly what I want, and I know I'm going to get it. And I know I'm worth it. I know that I'm deserving of it, and I know I'm going to receive it. And that has taken me a shitload of work to do. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's fun, and it's such an amazing space to live in that I want all of you to know it's possible, and I want all of you to join me. I'm like, come on, ladies. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. If you could just think about it, sit with it, let it marinate for a minute. Who's really rejecting? Who are you rejecting? What are your hopes and dreams? What do you really want to do? It doesn't have to be get married tomorrow. I do not want to get married tomorrow. It doesn't have to be, because it doesn't have to be, like get married tomorrow, have a move in tomorrow, date around, sleep around. It doesn't have to be anything. You know what it has to be is what you want, and then stepping into who you are and what you want your life to look like. You have that control. Like it's all up to you. And I know sometimes that's scary because it's sometimes much easier to just put it off on other people. But when you do that, you're going to get rejected and you're not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to always feel like there's more, like you need, like it's not fair. Why do things always happen to me? That victim, because you are, and you're doing it to yourself, right? So anyway, I don't want to go on, but I hope this makes sense. And I hope if it does make sense, you'll jump on my calendar or PM me, DM me, whatever it's called, to ask a little bit more questions. I just want to keep this conversation going because nobody should be afraid to go meet another man because they're going to get rejected. Because this is just not. Like, men are great. Men are wonderful. And there's great men out there to meet that are waiting to meet you. Talked to a lot of them over this week that were just as terrified as some of the women here for the holidays and being alone. And the world we need to come together. But the first step is not rejecting yourself. If you're rejecting yourself, then you're going to get rejected by everyone you meet. And maybe not right away, but eventually, because it's the law of attraction. It's like the energy you're putting out. And none of this is blame. It's all empowering. It's all to give you the power and to let you know you freaking hold the key. So happy Thanksgiving. This is a beautiful, beautiful time if you can switch the filter and know that this is a time to really, really get solid clear on what you want, where you want 2019 to go. I know we still have a big month ahead of us. December is such a fun month, and I love the energy of it all. And my 12-year-old already put up a Christmas tree. I'm not totally holly jolly Christmas, but I'm trying. And I just love that what I've learned, what I'm really focusing on is I love the community, and I love that everybody comes together and they really, enjoy each other's company and being with who you want to be with. Because if you're like, no, I don't enjoy anyone's company, then stop being with those people. That's a totally different story that for me to go into. But, family is family, but also it's like you can create your own family. So I hope some of you are, because it's just a great time. It's a great time to really redefine everything, or define, because it's a new chapter. So anyway, I hope the rejection thing makes sense. If it does and it resonates with you, or if it doesn't and you're like, what are you talking about? Either way, I'd love to further the conversation with you. But seriously, if you're kind of somebody who kind of is like, that's bullshit, guys just reject me, then we probably don't have a lot to talk about. Like, I don't have a lot of slots on my calendar, and the month is short. So I'm like, if that's how you're feeling, then I'm not here to persuade you. I'm not here to convince you or to talk you into anything. If that's where you're sitting right now and you feel really great about it, then this is probably not a phone call you need to make. And I honor you for that, and that's great, because that's where you are. But if it does make sense and you would like to further the conversation, and you do see that maybe you are creating some of your own rejection because you're rejecting a lot of your hopes and dreams, you're rejecting a lot of your value, your worth, your beauty, your talents. If you see that you kind of are living in that space and you're pissed off and frustrated, then let's talk. I would love to chat. It would be a great conversation, and I know that I could shed some light on it. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so grateful for you, and so grateful that you're in this Facebook group, and just that you're alive. Just celebrate you're alive and celebrate all the abundance around you. So thank you, and I will talk to you guys really soon. Bye-bye.